Shalom Yeladim, Mora Marni here. Guess what's coming up? That's right, Rosh Hashanah is coming up. It's the new year of the Jewish people. On Rosh Hashanah, we wish each other Shana Tova. Can you say Shana Tova? That means good year. We also say Shana Tova Umetuka. Can you guys say Shana Tova Umetuka? That means good and sweet year. We all ask Hashem to give us a beautiful and wonderful and sweet and good year. Another thing we do on Rosh Hashanah is we hear something. There's a very special mitzvah to hear a certain sound. And I'm going to show you that it's the sound of this very special object. Do you know what this is that I'm holding? If you said shofar, you are right. Everyone say shofar. This is a shofar. Now, what do we do with the shofar? Well, we blow it, or somebody blows it. The person who blows it on Rosh Hashanah is called the Bal Tekiah. And it is a mitzvah to hear the sound of the shofar. And there's 4 very special sounds that come out of the shofar. We're going to talk about that in a minute. Now, the question is, what is a shofar made out of? That's like a big question. What does it look like to you? I've asked some Yeladim, and some of them said it's made out of stone. Some thought maybe it was made out of like a tree branch. Some people just didn't know. Some people thought it was made out of wood or plastic. Well, a real shofar is actually made out of the horn of a very special animal. I'm going to show you a picture of that animal. You can even see where the shofar is, or the shofarot. That means 2 shofars. The shofarot are on the animal. You see this animal? This is called a ram. A ram is a male goat or a male sheep. And right on his head, those 2 horns are shofarot. Okay, I'm going to show you another picture of another kind of goat. See the shofarot on his head? And this actually is not a goat, but you can also make a shofar out of his horns. This is a type of antelope. So there's a few different kind of animals that you can make a shofar out of. Now, of course, a person has to know how to cut the horn off. And when it cuts the horns off, then the very tip of the horn, which is pointy, you can see in this picture, maybe you can see how pointy it is, but that tip has to be cut off and someone has to drill a hole, but the rest of it is hollow. And that means that the air that, when I put this against my mouth, the air goes from here and it goes all the way through the shofar and it comes out here as a noise, as a sound. And that is called kol shofar, the sound of the shofar. In a minute, I'll let you hear what that sounds like. Now, there are some animal horns we cannot make a shofar out of. That is this kind of animal. Even though they have way beautiful big horns, that's like a type of a water buffalo. We may not make a shofar out of that. The Torah tells us you may not use that. And this, look at these horns. It's kind of a type of ox. We may not make a shofar out of ox. It must be a goat or a ram or a special antelope. Some people think, hey, can we make a shofar out of this horn? Anyone know what this is? If you said a deer, it's like it is. It's a male deer or an elk. I actually happen to have the horns of an elk right here. I want you guys to see, because it's really quite spectacular looking. Look at those horns. Wow, see, it sits on the head like this, sits on the head of the elk. You may not make a shofar out of an elk's horn. It's not hollow inside. There's no hole inside. It's hard. And the Torah says you may not use these horns. So if you're going to make a shofar, you have to know which of the kosher animals to use to make the shofar.
Let's listen to the sounds of the shofar.
Now we're going to practice. Pick up your pretend shofar, hold it very carefully. And I'm going to say the name of the sound, and then we're going to blow that sound, okay? So here we go. I will do it, and then you can do it. Tekiah. Doo. Tekiah is one long sound. So now you do it. Tekiah. The next sound is shvarim. Listen for shvarim. Toot, toot, toot. Shvarim are 3 sounds. So now I'm going to say shvarim and you do it. Shvarim. Do it, do it, do it. And now the last sound is called tru'ah. Listen for tru'ah. Tru'ah are 9 little sounds, okay? So now I'm going to say tru'ah and you do tru'ah. Tru'ah. Okay, and the final sound is called, you don't always hear this one. Those first 3 you always hear. But at the very end of certain parts of the shofar blowing, you will hear tekiah gedolah. Tekiah gedolah is one long sound that you take with one breath. So before you do this, you have to take a deep breath. So I will do it first, and then you can try. Tekiah gedolah. See, I only took one breath and I did it as long as I could. You guys ready? Remember, once the breath is out, that's the end of your tekiah gedolah. Here we go. Tekiah gedolah. Now you might still be going, but I'm gonna keep going. Okay? Great job, Yeladim. Now, I want to tell you about those sounds. This is my pretend baby. Little doll. Really looks like a little baby. Now, Yeladim, when a baby wants something from their mommy, their ima, or their abba, what are they going to do? Are they going to say, "Excuse me, ima, would you please come here? I need to ask you a question"? No. Of course they're not going to, because babies don't know how to talk. They don't have words yet. But they definitely know how to cry and call out. So the sound of the shofar is like the sound of a baby calling for their mommy, their ima. Remember, the tekiah is the one long sound. It's like the baby going, that gets the ima's attention, right? Yeah. And then the shvarim, the 3 sounds, is like a baby crying, like, the 3 sounds, baby crying. And then the tru'ah, the lots of the little sounds are, that's a real cry, Yeladim. And if the mommy still won't come, what does the baby do? Gives one long sound. That's tekiah gedolah. And then, oh my goodness, the parents come. What's wrong? What do you need? Of course, they probably came when the baby made the first sound. And then the parents do whatever the baby needs. Does the baby need a bottle? She'll get her bottle. Does the baby need just to be held and snuggled? She'll be held and snuggled. Does the baby need her diaper changed? Then the baby will get her diaper changed. Whatever the baby needs, the baby will get. And that is the secret of the shofar, Yeladim. On Rosh Hashanah, we call to Hashem like a baby calls to their Ima or their Abba. And Hashem comes and answers us. Hashem comes running and says, what can I do for you? Let me help you. Let me make you comfortable. Let me give you what you need. Because Hashem is our Ima and our Abba. Hashem loves us just like Ima and Abba. And Hashem will take care of us and make sure we have all that we need and make sure we're happy and we're comfortable and we have a beautiful new year. A Shana Tova Umetuka. Shalom Yeladim and Shana Tova.